Okay. Yes, tonight it's a subject I want to touch up on, and this is regarding personally and generally myself as the reason why I choose to distance myself away from other black people. You may ask those of you in the audience or the comment section in social media as to why I'm saying this. Well, let me clear up a couple of things before I go any further. Number one, I'm not one of them so-called Negroes who chose to remove myself from a larger population of dark-skinned people of soul in America because I felt I was better or because of my financial status, which of course is definitely not the reason. And even if I had the affordability to move in a more secure area, even around white people, self-hatred would not be the reason why. Okay, so I just want to set the record with that straight, first and foremost. And then also, too, the other reason why I'm touching up on this subject, because as I've seen over the years, according to what I've been through and what I've seen in the so-called pro-black conscious community, far as so-called black leaders, humiliating, pimping, and, abusing the people that they say they care about the most, when it comes to oppression by other people that don't look like us, you know, and as well as the way I see people in general and how dark-skinned people treat each other within the conscious community, which is very horrible, and as it's getting worse to this very day from what I see in social media as well. And also along with other reasons, because I don't see no progress along those lines, as well as, of course, with the so-called black Christian community and black Muslim community, far as the religious sector of our community go, is another reason that I choose to further distance myself away from unquote black people or other black people in this country, who I prefer to call people of soul, dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. And in fact, you know, like I've even said before on a couple occasions recently in different videos, that if this Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign that me and the brother who I'm an assistant to, brother Taalik, don't pan out right, then I'm gonna completely just wipe my hands. Because like I even said, even last night in the video I made, in fact, we are headed on a path to total destruction. And I explained why. in those part 2 extermination videos, far as black people is concerned, or why that's the case. And you could go check them videos out on this page. And when it's also uploaded on one of our other pages, such as Operation Exodus Mississippi, or Reality Temple Ministries on Earth page. But like I said before, you know, getting into the meat of where I'm going at with this is that, you know, even around here in my immediate area where I live at, in the city, in the state, which is not populated with too many, you know, dark-skinned people or so, and in a city which has much more lesser black people in it, as far as dark-skinned people or so, which I refer to black people as. You know, it's sickening. It's like it makes you sick to your stomach. Well, I know it makes me sick to my stomach when I see the disunity, you know, the stabbing in the back, the tearing down each other, especially, you know, in front of the eyes of the racists and oppressors who don't look like us and could care less at all about us, any of us that are dark-skinned with woolly hair. And I see this all the time, even right here in the most predominant white mixed neighborhood I live in. You know, and it's sad. It really is. It's sad. And it's like, it's got so sickening to the point that when I spot people, especially in social media, especially that has came to this platform of Operation Exodus Mississippi and Reality Temple Ministries on Earth, you know, being fake, you know, I cut them off right then and there. Once I see through their fakery, I cut them off right then and there. And I don't care who don't like it. It is what it is. You know, and it's got to the point where the more I see what's going on in my immediate surroundings, as well as on the national level with our people around the country, the way that we tear each other down in front of the eyes of other people, like I say, that don't like us anyway, it's only leading more faster to our path of complete extermination. Think about this. You may say that Donald Trump or these other Caucasians up in the high echelon of politics in this country don't want the unquote brown skinned people in this country. Let me help you to understand something that is contrast to that you know, falsehood. If they didn't really want them in this country, trust me, all the manpower they have to keep them out this country, they'd have been kept them out this country. Okay? They know who to allow in this country and who not to allow in this country. that they want in this country or that they don't want in this country. And that's historically a proven fact. You know, just like for one example, back in the early 80s, when the Haitians was first trying to come over here, you seen how they immediately put a block to that until other presidential administrations came afterward, along with the help of our so-called black leadership in this country. So they could get in this country and piggyback off our ancestors' civil rights struggle and not showing no ounce of appreciation to us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. And so, like I said, it was very hard for them Haitians to get in this country. They were even at a lot of times turning right back on the same boats they came to this country in. Tell them, take y'all asses back to Haiti, even if they pleaded for dear life because of retribution from their government down there in that nation for even trying to get to America or whatever. They didn't give a damn. Take your ass back to Haiti. But they didn't do them Cubans like that. Especially them lighter skinned, pale complexion Cubans. I used to live in Miami. And I know how they go down there. You know, what's understood don't need to be explained. You know, Cubans run Miami. So that says a lot. Just one whole volume of words by itself. That just says a whole lot alone. And you know, so if they really don't want somebody in this country, which is the point I'm making, they not getting in this country. It's just that simple. You know. And as a matter of fact, years ago, it was affirmed to me that they were only, yeah, peace and respect you also, brother Taalik. And welcome. It's our brother Taalik, who I'm ad assistant to. I would like to send shout outs to him and those who are also listening or may be listening in the comment section. But however, once again, getting back on to what I was saying is that, you know, it was affirmed to me that they will let certain other dark-skinned tribes of people from South Africa come to the United States. But they would not let the Zulu tribe of South Africa come to the United States, even in terms of immigrating here. And there's a reason for that. Because for first of all, the Caucasian European got a very, very, very significant history dealing with that particular dark-skinned tribe in South Africa. We done heard about it like in a movie called Shaka Zulu, and how they also kicked the British behind numerous times. Okay, so, I mean, you know, and plus they were always known to have that type of warrior spirit about them. You know, and wait a minute, what was that, brother? Brother, I don't know how to put you on speaker. So, but you can't try to call me to get in, but I don't know how to put you on speaker. You know, so if you call in and I can't hear you, that's because I don't know how to put you on speaker, brother. We're gonna have to work on that, as you know, like we were talking about before, even for future references. But you can still try to call in and chime in, though. You're welcome to, of course. But anyway, moving along, like I said, yeah. All right, brother. Yes, sir. But anyway, like I said, um, what I must say is this: is that you know, looking at that, those two examples, and like I spoke about in the case of the dark-skinned people from Haiti, a Caribbean nation that declared independence from their French colonial slave masters, even during the time before the so-called Negro in America was supposedly freed here from chattel slavery in the year 1865. You know, not only the Caucasians of France are still feeling a certain way about that and haven't forgot about that, but so are their allies, Great Britain, and of course the United States of America are still feeling a certain way about that. Because no dark-skinned people over here in the Western Hemisphere stood up like the Haitians did to gain their independence under the leadership of Toussaint Overchar, you know, and that other brother, what's his name, General Desolin, and they haven't forgot about that. That's why Haiti is economically in the shape that it's in, as we could see, especially since they had that earthquake back in 2010. It ain't did nothing but went from wherever it was at to worse. And plus, it's just crazy. So, like I said, the point I'm getting at is that if they really wanted them people in this country, they would simply let them in, or if they don't want them in this country, they wouldn't let them in. So they don't see no reason as to why the Mexicans, the Colombians, the Panamanians, the Costa Ricans, those from Argentina or Honduras in Central and South America and other places in Latin America, including Cuba, they see no reason why they shouldn't come in this country, so they let them in this country, especially to fill our shoes in terms of benefiting off of our ancestors' civil rights struggle of the 1950s and 60s. And that's what that's all about. So all that so-called political uproar about brown-skinned people coming in this country is a bunch of bull crap. They're being replaced to remove us, which is a part of the elimination process of extermination in our case, is dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. See what I'm saying? So, you know, the thing about that is that our people is just sitting back and they not paying attention to none of this. And all we focus on, especially in social media, is tearing each other down, having these frivolous debates, which mean little less or nothing, that's still getting us nowhere or freeing us from our slave-like condition as a people in this country. All Negroes want to do is talk a good game, but they ain't really willing to step to the plate, even when it comes to their own resources, to actually to try to create real change for themselves and each other as a people in general. So, this is the reason why I choose to further continue on distancing myself away from other black people, and it ain't, like I said, it ain't got nothing to do with self-hatred, because trust me, you could tell, those of you that know how to discern the real and the fake, you can tell those who just separate themselves away from other dark-skinned people so because they have so much self-hatred. But I'm trying to let you know, in my case, that is totally different from that type of mentality. And like I say, you could take it or leave it. You ain't got to, accept it as truth or what I'm saying. I could care less. Because you're going to think it and so-calledly believe what you want to believe. You know what I mean? So I could care less about that. But I'm just pointing out specifics and the reason why I choose to separate myself more and more from other dark-skinned descendants of slaves. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not with the racial swirling. But I find some very, very funny. When those who talk against race swirling or interracial mixing, but these be some of the main Negroes that'll go outside their race and culture to intermarry with another race or intermix with another race. Just look at Louis Farrakhan, for an example, in his organization, where he got half black and white grandchildren in his family as a result of his son's interrelations with this white woman. Okay? And then you have, whites that are now official registered members in his organization under his leadership that he boldly admitted on national TV. So, and plus you got lighter skin complexion Latinos in his organization as registered members. So what you think all them darker skinned woolly hair brothers gonna do now that they see this, especially with those who still got that deep embedded true self-hatred in them for their own dark-skinned sister soul that's in that organization? They gonna overlook them and go to the lighter skin complexion female members, whether they Caucasian or Latino, for intimate companionship. I mean, all I'm just saying is just look around. All you gotta do is sit back and watch. And see how stuff is playing its own self out. It's no joke. This hypocrisy in the so-called black conscious community, they kills me with that. When they accuse other black people or dark-skinned people, so rather to say, of being race swirlers. But like I said before, I really cannot, understand for nothing in the world, even why they come down on the brother that is the host of the Vice show, because he's married, from my understanding, to a Mexican female. You know, I listened to this sister. She's a Christian, by the way. It's a soul sister. I forgot her name, but I seen a video of her earlier. And she said the reason that brothers are choosing to go over into being involved with relationships with white women is because black women don't know how to talk to them in terms of letting them know how they feel about their incompetency as a man. So quite naturally, when you are disrespectful to a brother, but at the same time, you want to get in bed with him, and like the sister say, give him money to go get his drugs. Hey, you really ain't in the shape to even come down on a brother or to try to even criticize a brother for being incompetent as a man. That's why a lot of brothers, like she say, you know, tune out sisters when they go to talking reckless like that to brothers. Because brothers know in the eventual end, they gonna get what they basically want out of them anyway. Okay. But at the same time, you know, like the sisters say, this is the reason why the so-called black woman in America, who is a dark-skinned descendant of slaves born in America, do not want a good man, because she used to having that type of man that she could just talk to any kind of way, and don't want to help him to pull himself up by through constructive criticism, them being disrespectful with their criticism of how a brother should be in terms of being a man. So that is a real problem of what's causing also the separation and divide between the dark-skinned man and woman in this country, and whom I'm speaking of as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. And as I said before, you know, I mean, it's just sad when you look at the situation for what it really is. It's sad. It really is sad. You know, and I really hate to say that, you know, honestly, somewhere down the line in my life, before I close my eyes for the last time, especially being me in my 50s now, not knowing if I got 20 or at least 30 more years left on this earth, yes, I want to be involved with a sister soul and have what they call everlasting relationship, a healthy one or whatever. But sometimes that's just not the reality, especially in our cases as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, because of how our interactions and relations with each other, especially as families, have been so destroyed, especially with the impact of the carryover from chattel slavery. So, I mean, it's like, you know, these are within the line, the lines, the parallel lines of the reasons why I choose to continue to further distance myself from black people. Now, who in their right mind want to be around a bunch of savages? Like I said, I live here in the city that don't have no larger black population, and I still have to deal with flack coming from my own people, as well as the races. But at least I know how not to second guess the races when it's coming from them. But when it's coming from my people, what? I mean, I could go further into how that goes here in my immediate local area where I'm at, but you know, that may be in another video that I may choose to do that. But however, it's just crazy, and I just really, it just sickens me. It just really sickens me. It sickens me to see that. And I know some of you, in the conscious community, especially, who may even be watching this video, or who's going to be watching this video in the future ahead of this moment in time, may of course not concur with what I'm saying. But if you look at and understand the specifics of what I'm saying, you would know that I feel the way I feel because of how I feel the way I feel. And you wouldn't be so quick to presumably judge me on the way of how I feel. Since Negroes, period, is good for judging others, especially among their own kind. Especially making reckless presumptions against their own kind, especially if they don't personally know them. So like I said before, this thing is crazy. And, it just hurts me to even put this out in social media. Because there's so many of y'all that accuse dark-skinned people who choose to separate themselves from the savagery of their own people. You perceive them as Uncle Tom sellouts, even to go to the point is even probably calling them snitches, running and hiding, or whatever, and all this crap. Well, like I say, there are cases like mine or my own where that's just not reality. And I talk, okay, to certain other dark-skinned people. Matter of fact, even right here in this immediate local area where I'm at. And to a very certain degree of extent, even if we don't have the same complete way of thinking in terms of mentality, I understand where they're coming from. And plus, I can identify with where they're coming from. It's a lot of our people that's disappointed in us, soul brothers and sisters who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. It is a lot of our own people. And I ain't talking about ones that got money either, okay? Just even them. I'm not talking about ones that's rich or wealthy or famous, like a Don or Ross or something that wouldn't step foot into the communities where they came from at one time or another. No, I'm not. Oh, nah. And I don't even knock that sister. Because I remember I'm from back home in Detroit, she has her humble beginnings at as well. People accused her for years of not reaching out back to the city of Detroit. Well, if anybody in their right mind would see what's going on with the majority of the dark-skinned descendant of slave born in America population in Detroit, they will understand why she is one of those who didn't return back to Detroit. Whether it's in terms of giving back or whatever they want to call that or whatever. But to this day, at this point, I can't even knock her, you know. And like I said before, it is what it is. So, I mean, don't get it twisted, people. You know, every dark-skinned person is not distancing themselves from other black people because they simply have self-hatred for themselves. You know, I just want to point that out. It ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, it definitely ain't got nothing to do with that. And furthermore, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, it's just disappointing. The savagery among our people, even a blind man like Ray Charles could see through that. That's just the reality of it. And where our people is going at this point in time in this nation, in terms of being headed toward destruction, like I say, I hope that this Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign can get off the ground. Because like I've expressed before, publicly and off the air as well, that, I would have been wiping my hands far as us a long time ago. I just emancipated myself from the so-called black conscious community for the reasons that I've been speaking about in this video, far as distancing myself from other, dark-skinned people or so in this nation. So, like I said before, I want to continue with this video, but I'm kind of in the middle of doing some things right now. And I just wanted to get this point out tonight in this video to help you understand what's really going on and on why I feel the way that I feel. And hopefully you'll understand that. And if you don't, well, so be it. But it is what it is. And see, there are other dark-skinned people who feel the exact same way as I do. Once again, not because they hate themselves either. Okay? But they're not bold enough even to get on social media and talk about it like I am. Okay? That's the difference. But with that said, y'all have any comments or whatever, jot them down in the comment section. And to those, including our brother Taalik, who's in the comment section, listening, or still maybe listening to this video, Hangout Live, and to those in the rest of YouTube land and social media watching this live Hangout, I send my shout outs to you and peace.